Hi friends, it's Liz here. Thank you so much for joining me today. I have a really great project to share with you. We are going to be making this little folio ephemera holder. It is using one 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. And after I show you how to make it, we will add some embellishments to it and, the pockets and that sort of thing that you'll see me show you in the video. I will have links to things that I have used in the description box below. And let me just quickly show you what we're going to make. So this little flip out folio has lots of little pockets and tuck spots. And of course you can make them your own with your own decorations and embellishments. I have used some digitals from Digital Collage Club. I will have their shop linked below, as well as coupon codes that I have. I have also used some of my own printables in this little folio, including my latest vintage Polaroid kit that I have in my shop. So the pieces, like I've mentioned, I've used are from Digital Collage Club and some of my own. If you have any questions about something that you've seen and I forget, leave a comment below and let me know, and I will try and find that for you. So you can see here, you've got a lot of different little tucks and flips and that sort of thing. This was not my original idea. I saw this on a channel by the name of Crafted by Norma, and I think the last video, I think it was like a year ago that was posted. I don't think there's any more updated videos, but I will link it below if I remember where I have saved it, if I saved it. But again, the name of the channel I got this idea from was Crafted by Norma. And I really loved the, different tucks and flips that you can do with this little thing. Again, these are my little Polaroids from my new printable. And then all the additional little printables that you see here are from Digital Collage Club as well. Now, I used one sheet of 8.5 by 11 paper that already had a print on one side. And then I added the papers that you see here are all from, and I'm going to just shorten it to DCC, Digital Collage Club. This is one of my Polaroids that comes in a set. I do have 2 pages that have, I think 6 Polaroids each in the set that is now in my shop. And so here you see that you've got a little paper clip in the center. I've got the little envelope that I've added to the left here. And then of course, you can kind of get an idea of how you can add your own pockets and embellishments and that sort of thing. I like it because it's flat mail. So if you add just enough pieces in there to keep it flat and you don't embellish it too much, then you can certainly send this in an envelope in the mail to a friend, and I think it just looks really nice. The paper clip, of course, here you can add this to a journal page or somewhere where you would like to use the paper clip. Now you don't have to add this paper clip to it. I did this following her tutorial, so I made it how she made it, except of course I decorated it on my own. Like I decorated it with my own pieces of embellishments that I had. And then you can see all the different little sections. You have areas to journal, you have areas to tuck ephemera in, and then you've got the different little flips and pullouts and that sort of thing. Okay, so let me quickly show you how we can make one, but I will quickly also show you what I added to as the ephemera to this one. And once I show you how to make it, then I'll also embellish it a little bit with you so you can get an idea on how to put that together. So these are my new vintage Polaroid printables. It comes in the 2 pages, and that's the set that you would get. And I love these because they're just, you can use them in anything. This is the free printable that is on my coffee, and I will link that below as well. If you wanted to grab your printable, please follow me there. And thanks again for your support. Okay, so this is the 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper that I am using. It's just cardstock. I think it's 65 pounds. So we're going to score at 3.5, and then we're going to score at the 7.5. And those are the first 2 scores that you would make on the long side of your paper. And then you would turn it once, And then this is how you would score for the bottom, which is 2 3/4. Now on the channel that I saw this, she didn't give you any measurements. She just sort of folded it herself, just sort of by eyeballing how she wanted to do it. But I kind of prefer sometimes to work with measurements. It just helps me when I want to, you know, make things over again. So she did have that little spot that was left over on the side, so you can get like a glimpse of the back cover, as you can see here. So it wasn't scored so that it was even on either end, as you can see. So here's what this ends up looking like once we've done all our folds. And then we make our first cut. So the bottom left corner square here, you just cut the score line away. That's basically how I find it's easier to fold things afterwards. And then we'll cut straight through to the next score line here to get our other little foldable piece to be ready. So you can see now you've got just 2 cuts, and then this is how you'll be able to get all your different folds and flaps and that sort of thing. Now I ended up keeping mine closed with a little clip. That little, I don't know if it's a binder clip, it's that little metal clip that you saw. I had thought about using Velcro maybe to keep the little flat mail folio closed. So as you can see, the way you fold it, when you flip this over, this holds everything closed. And so if you put something on the left fold there to keep everything closed, then it's all like a nice little package. So I was thinking of maybe adding some Velcro to that, because that would sort of make it a little easier to open. Maybe one of those little snaps. I think I have those little snap thingies. So we'll see what I come up with, but for now, that's what we have. Now I just showed you that for this one that I'm going to be making with you, we will not be adding the paper clip, because I just don't really find that I would be clipping it to a journal. But if that's something that you would like to do, then you would just end up, you know, adding your little slit for the paper clip. All right, so now that I've shown you what the cuts are in the score lines, I'm just going to quickly show you what each section ends up being, just because I know it can get a little confusing. And then after I show you this, of course, we'll decorate one and add all the little, you know, pockets and that sort of thing to it. So this is what it looks like folded. Okay, so this would be your first flip out here, which is what helps you kind of open it, because the flap, the way this is folded, is what keeps everything together. Okay, so this one here is the one that folds down, and you end up having your little pocket here on the front cover. So this essentially becomes your front cover with the little flap coming down. And then when you open this back up on this side, then you've got your little envelope section there. On this side, you've got a little journaling spot, or, you know, a small photo if you were doing like a mini album. And then at the bottom here, we've got another little pocket or tuck spot or journaling spot. This is where you can get creative with what you want to add to yours. But like I said, I am going to show you what I did with mine, and then I'll walk you through the process of how I'm going to decorate each section. If you have double-sided paper, then you don't have to worry about decorating either side. All you have to do then is add your pockets and little tuck spots and that sort of thing. So it'll be a little bit easier to put that together then. So the suggestion was to actually write on each little section what you're going to be adding to it. I think it helps when you're putting it together to know what your front is, what your back is, what you'll be using your sections for. And then this way it sort of keeps you knowing exactly how it's going to look at the end, keeping in mind that the front flap, because of the way it turns, it ends up being upside down. So when you decorate that front, you have to use something that is kind of like, it has no specific side to it, and I'll show you that in a minute. So here I've just written what I'll be adding to each section. But first, I'm going to show you how I'm going to cover it. Now, this digital I'm using is from Digital Collage Club. It's one of my favorites from their shop. I will link that below. And then I'm also using one of their latest ones. I believe it's the birds postcards, and then I think an alchemy one, but only 1 or 2 pages from there. So here I'm just showing you the different little areas where I'll be adding pieces to cover my cardstock. So I've gone ahead and covered that because I know you didn't want to see that part. So I've just added like journaling areas. I actually cut the paper with my little ruler here because I think it just gives it a nice look if it's not like all straight. So that tear ruler works well. I will link supplies below as well if you're interested in any of the supplies I've shown you. So here I'm adding a little pocket to this front page. And this one is the postcard from Digital Collage Club from the kit I mentioned. And I'm just going to make like a pocket on the side here. And you'll notice that I'm adding the glue to 3 sides because the pocket is going to be coming from the top. And I love these little birds. I think it just works so well. Now on this left side is where I'm going to add my little envelope. Now I did use die for this envelope and I have it right here. I will link that below if I remember where I got it. And also if you work with dies or you want to and don't have a machine, I have a great tip on how to use dies without machines. I will link that video below and on the card above in case you're interested. Okay, so I've just gone ahead and added my envelope, and now I'm taking some of my little washi strips from that free printable that I mentioned I have on my Ko-fi. I'll stop saying it, I'll just put it on the screen. And so I've got a free printable there for you if you follow me there. So I'm just going to cut some of the pieces up to make maybe a belly band and a little pocket. So there's a little pocket on this side that I added with my little washi strip. And then you see all the different little pockets that I've already added. I haven't done anything to this center yet. I haven't decided what I want to do. So now I've flipped it over, and again I'm showing you the pieces that I'll be adding to this side to cover it, and all the digitals here are again from Digital Collage Club. So I'm just adding those up, and I've glued everything down, and now I've added a little tuck spot here, and I'll be adding this additional little piece as a belly band. And again, these little pieces I took them from my free washi tape digital that I have for you if you follow the link below. And so here it is. So thank you so much to those of you that are supporting me there. I really truly appreciate it when you buy me a coffee. I truly am like just dancing. I'm so happy when that happens. So thank you so much for that. Okay, so here's my little belly band and here's my little pocket. And now I'm just going to add a couple of more pieces, and then I'll decorate what essentially is the flap for the cover as well, because that one, when you turn the paper, it goes upside down. So you need to be mindful of the paper that you use if you don't like to see sort of upside down writing when you are flipping something over. So here you'll see that I've just added a little pocket on the side. I've only glued 2 sections of this so I can have like a little side tuck. And again, I'm adding one of my little vintage Polaroids. This is where I'll be adding the other little pocket. And again, this one, I think this one is actually from one of my printables. I think it's the French letters. I was just cutting up a bunch of different little pieces as I was putting this together. And this one happens to be from one of my kits. Thank you so much for your support with my shop. I really appreciate those of you that purchase something, my digitals or even the journals that are there. The artists that I feature are also very grateful. So here we've got another little tuck spot. So you see how we're just quickly loading this up. Now I'm going to be using the little stamp set, and that stamp set is from Your Creative Studio. I love it because it's just got like canceled stamp looking things. And you know, it doesn't matter which way you stamp it, it just ends up looking good. Here again, I'm just showing you that the center part is where you would have added your paper clip if you wanted to, but I'm not doing that for this project, and I haven't quite decided what I want to do with that center pocket yet, so I'm just going to leave it at that. So now you see when I'm closing everything up, you've got your pocket in the front, your flap, and then this one closes is what I'm talking about. Be mindful of what paper you add to that, because when you open it all up, it ends up being upside down on the other side. and I'm sure you'll know what I mean when I open it back up again. At the end of the video, I'm also going to show you just pictures of the finished product so you can get an idea of what it looked like before I finished it and then what it looked like after. I've also written down, you know, what the sections are that I used and what I added to them. Hopefully that will make it a little bit less confusing when we end up flipping and flopping everything out. So here you can see the stamp that I mentioned. I love this stamp. I've been using it on everything right now. And I'm just not even putting it on an acrylic block. I'm just adding it on its own, and it turns out really well. And then I think I'm just going to add a little bit more, and then we'll be done with this portion. I did end up adding a little washi tape at the end, but I didn't show that in the video because that was sort of like something I forgot to do as I was filming. But you'll see the finished product in the picture at the beginning and at the end of the video, so you can see how it ended up looking. So as you can see, once we fold everything, this is what this ends up looking like. I think it's just beautiful. I love that flower peeking through the top, and then all the different little sort of secret hiding spots because you don't see them until you actually start to add the little goodies to them. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up, click that notification bell, and leave a comment below. Let me know what you think of this video. And check out my One Page Wonders playlist. I have quite a few projects that I've shared with all of you using One Page to make different types of projects, as well as different types of tutorials and journal with me videos. Thank you again for joining me today. I hope you make some. Don't forget to tag me if you do. I would love to see how yours turns out. These are the pictures that I mentioned of showing you the before decorating and after I've decorated the first one I shared with you. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you soon. Thanks so much for stopping by.